Hello everyone, welcome to yet another live Q&A. Let's wait for some time and let other people join and then we can start. Doing good, Rupa, thank you. How are you? It's pretty quiet today. We'll wait for another couple of minutes and if no one joins, we will call it a day. There's something going on in the church. There's something going on the big screen. Someone is talking about something and there are quite a lot of people in the church today. I've never been to church. Maybe sometime I'll go because I've been to some of the cathedrals and it's very peaceful inside. So it would be nice to maybe just go to this church and see how things happen. Hey Ashutosh, I'm doing good. How are you? Great. Is the position is filled? I don't know. I mean, I shared some of the CVs with the HR and well, they had this requirement where they were like, we want someone who doesn't need any sponsorship just yet. Maybe after 2 years or something like that, they will sponsor. So I've shared some of the CVs. I don't know. I did not inquire about whether the position is filled or not. So yeah. Did you share resume of people who live there only? Yes, people who completed their masters or about to complete their masters. So, well, I had initially I had got quite a lot of resumes, so I just shared all of those CVs. But then HR told me that I need only CVs where people don't need any kind of sponsorship. So after that, I received your CV. So I think I told you in the email as well. So after that, whatever CVs I received, I shared only the CVs where people had completed their masters or they were about to complete their masters. I'm graduating this August in data science from a university in the UK. Where should I apply for jobs or internship? Applying for jobs and internship, I think you can find them on LinkedIn. But then again, everyone does that. It's a pretty common place. Even other job portals like CV Library or Total Jobs, Target Jobs, they are all quite common and everyone will do that. So you should do that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. But apart from that, I think you should also try to go to meetups. You should participate in various hackathons. Try to ask your professors. Maybe they know someone, and from there you will be able to get some internship or some opportunities. Grad Cracker is um, another pretty good website for graduate roles, I think. So yeah, there are a lot of things that you can do apart from just applying online. Because I was able to find internship by going to a meetup, and there I was able to find the director of I think it was Nika. Yeah. So he just told what they do, and I felt like it's a pretty good opportunity, and it was pretty much aligned with my interest as well. So I was like, okay, fine. So I reached out to him via email, and then we scheduled a couple of meetings, and then I was able to uh, find an internship. Meetup organized by my university, by your university, or by any third party organization. So you can find a lot of meetups within your close proximity on meetup.com. So that's a good website which you can use. So you just need to search for data science, data analytics, or something similar to that on those websites like meetup.com and Eventbrite. So those are the most popular websites which are being used in the UK to uh, just post any kind of meetup. It seems like it's quite windy today. Well, that's not something uncommon, but it is very windy, very cold, and a very overcast day. Nothing new, but it is what it is. Is that all? Are we done with all the questions already? I think so. The question was whether data science salaries will decrease. So the answer which I read was very interesting. So that person, his organization, they work with various other organizations and provide some data science related support. So he was able to talk to one of the senior member of one of the organizations, and he got to know that a lot of organizations now now they are publishing a lot of data analytics, business analytics sort of role under data science umbrella, uh, just so they can attract a lot of talent. And I think when you do data science course, you tend to pick up all sorts of skills like data analytics skills and somewhat business analytics skills as well. So just to stay relevant in the market, a lot of companies are doing that. And if this trend uh, keep on happening, then I think the median salary of a data scientist will decrease. But if we talk about the actual core data science related roles, there I think salary will still be better. But then there will be really uh, no information. It will be really hard to find out which jobs are actually related to data science stuff and which jobs are not. So it will be really hard to see whether uh, the median salary of the actual data science related roles are going to stay where it is, or it is going to fall. Okay, thanks. I think the most common question you get is how to find a job. Yes, definitely. And I always give the same answer. But yeah. Uh, and I think I've talked about this in one of the videos. I don't remember when, because it was a long time ago. So I can probably create an updated video, and every time someone asks a question, I will just share that in the chat. But then I feel like if I'm doing a live Q&A, I should just answer those questions here. Obviously, I won't be able to answer those questions in as much detail as I can do in the videos. But yeah, still I try to answer those questions. So yeah, I will try to do that. I will try to make a video, and I will share the link of those videos in the chat, so that if somebody wants to get a more detailed version of the answer, they can watch the video. Bro, can you refer me? I am not getting any interview calls. They are saying other people's skill matches more with this role, so we moved forward with other candidates. Can you help me? Where should I apply? Yeah, I mean, that's just a common automated reply. It's not always related to skills. There are a lot of different factors, and I think I've seen in the UK that people tend to hire candidates who are living very close to the office, so that they can commute, because they have this mindset that if you get a job in certain city, you may not want to move to that new city, right? So it's important that when you apply, either mention in your CV or in your cover letter that you are willing to relocate to a new place, and that should maybe solve that aspect. But then there are like visa implications and things like that, so those things will always be there. Yeah, you can share your CV. I will put my email address in the chat. If i if i see some role, and if I can refer you, I'll be more than happy to share your CV. Yeah, so I posted my email in the chat. I am working on an app which can help you create content on the fly. Will you be interested? I am working on something very similar, and I have set up quite a lot of things on my tab on my phone. So I'm working on something very similar so that I can just uh, create content when I am when I can't be in front of probably camera, or I cannot do those things. So maybe just a voiceover or something like that. So I'm working on something very similar, Ashutosh. How's your work going at the current company? It's going good. Now it's almost a year now in my current role, and lot of development, lot of different things. Worked on a lot of different streams of a project. So yeah, it's overall it's good. I'm really enjoying uh, my current role or my current work. Can you refer me a good university for MSc in CS? So I've not looked into lot of computer science courses or modules, but one university that I can refer, uh, maybe Newcastle University, because some of the people I know studied Newcastle University and now they are doing quite well. They have been able to find a job at a pretty good package as well. Though they are working in London, but still the package is quite good. I think it was 80K, something like that. They are living in central London. But yeah, I think it's good. The course that they are covering is good. But apart from that, if I just name some of the good universities in computer science domain, University of Edinburgh is good. LSE is good. UCL is good. Manchester University is good. Yeah, so those are some of the good universities. How much stats do we need to know behind each ML algorithm for interview preparation? Do they only ask the logic behind algorithm, or do they ask the equation as well? It depends. In majority of the companies, they won't ask you to write equations and probably solve equations. Um, what they will ask is, tell me how this algorithm works, and that should be more than enough. And that's the mathematical part and not the statistical part. But when they ask you questions related to data analysis, they may ask you some difficult stats questions. So you need to know how to solve hypothesis testing, how to create a hypothesis, how to create null hypothesis and alternate hypothesis, and p-value. So those kind of things you need to know, and how to use them, what kind of threshold to use, one tail test, two tail test, which one to apply on which kind of problem. So those things you need to know. And I have a statistics for data science playlist on my channel. So if you go through that playlist, I think you should be able to answer all the stats related questions. As for machine learning, I think you just need to know the working of machine learning algorithm, advantages and disadvantages, what type of data a particular machine learning algorithm can handle. So those are the things that you need to know for any machine learning side of things. And they may not ask you directly, tell me the limitation of this algorithm. What they will do is they will give you some use cases, and then based on that use case you will need to answer a question. uh, so yeah, that is something you need to know. Is there any website which you follow during your data science interview preparation? No, not really. mm, well, I have a data science notes, so if I wanted to maybe revise something, I just use that notes. And if you want to access that notes, you will be able to find the link into the description, so maybe you can download that, and uh, you can just use that notes to maybe just revise things. So yeah, you will be able to find that link in the description. Curious to know if you can share what you're building. um well, it's not something really high tech. It's just a simple Streamlit app which can uh, give me some different pointers using large language models, and using those pointers I can just, because whenever I have to create a video, I first need to think about all the points which I want to talk about. So I give it some basic prompt, like I want to talk about these things. Are there anything else that I should talk about? And then uh, it can give me some more ideas, and that's all I need. Basically, and apart from that, I just need a camera, so that we have quite uh, easily. So that's there. And then I have used Google Data API or YouTube Data API, using which I can just create a video, put it in a folder, and then I've scheduled a script which can read the folder, and it can upload the video, write the description, and things like that. So it's a pretty basic app. I'm in my final year. Should I come in this intake or gain some experience? How's the job market right now or in the future? I would always suggest gain some experience, and then come for masters, because when you have some experience, it becomes relatively easy to find a job. I won't say it will be walk in the park, but yes, it will become relatively easy as compared to someone who doesn't have any experience. As for job market, it's not super bad, but also it's not good. Competition is way too high in the market. I got an offer from University of Bristol for MSc Data Science. What do you think about their course I have offer from Exeter QMUL as well. Exeter is offering me a good scholarship too. If I had to pick one university out of the, well, two universities out of these three, I think it would be either Exeter or QMUL. And now that you're getting good scholarship from Exeter, I would say maybe just go for Exeter. As for University of Bristol, not a big fan of their course. So yeah, that's just my opinion. Is text mining slash natural language processing an important skill to have for a data scientist, or are there any other roles for them specifically? Um, it is important because a lot of companies they do work around textual data. So if you have that skill, and I think sometimes it's really hard to work with text data. When it comes to image data or tabular data, it is pretty standard, and you can follow some set of rules to just clean the data or maybe structure the data. But when it comes to text data, it is relatively hard. So if you know text or natural language processing or any text mining sort of things, so I think it will be really helpful for you. And as a data scientist, it is one of the important skills. Well, there are a lot of NLP engineers, or now there are some new roles like Gen AI engineer or things like that. So in Gen AI also you have image data, text data, or now we have video generation tools as well. So it depends what that role is about. But again, I would say it's always good to work on textual data and gain some experience in natural language processing. Are you on Instagram? I am on Instagram, but not as Programming Cradle. It's just my personal account and my photography account. So that's all I have, but I'm not on Instagram as Programming Cradle. Should I be chasing the university ranking if I want a head start on my resume, since I don't have work experience as of now? Bristol QS world ranking is 55, Exeter is 153, although same rank in UK. Yeah, so they both are Russell Group universities. It is not going to make huge difference whether you study from University of Bristol or University of Exeter or even QMUL. So it's not going to impact too much. Uh, but yes, of course. And also, I've talked about this one of the videos. Ranking is not the most important thing that a lot of employers look for. So what they do is, if there are two resumes and both the candidates have similar kind of experience, similar kind of skills, similar kind of project, then they need some kind of tiebreaker, and that's when they will look at your university and university ranking, and then they'll be like, okay, fine, this guy has done uh, masters from Bristol University or etc. Well, there is not a lot difference between both of these universities, so it will again be a bit tricky for them to decide. Maybe they will decide based on their past experience, but then let's say if you do your masters from University of Bristol, and then there is another guy who has done um, uh, his masters from Northumbria University or University of Hertfordshire or something like that, which are not Russell Group universities. In that case, they will first interview someone from Russell Group University, and then if that guy does not perform well, then they will go for someone from non-Russell Group University. So that is something which can make a difference, but it all comes down to your skills and the projects that you have done. So if you're getting good amount of scholarship, and also the living expense should be less in Exeter, I would assume. So you will be able to save quite a lot of money. And so yeah, I will suggest maybe go for Exeter, but then at the end of the day, make your own informed decision, do your own research, and then pick one of the universities. Should I start learning a bit about cloud platform as well, like GCP, Azure for data science interviews? And the answer is yes, you should. Do they expect fresher data scientists to know about those? Yes, they do. Because these days, no company will do any kind of data science work on local premises, so you need to do all those things on cloud. So they do expect you to know cloud knowledge, and all the universities, they have some sort of cloud resource. They do provide you Azure cluster or AWS cluster, even GCP cluster. So make good use of it. Try to know how to use those uh, web services. So, well, cloud services, not web services. So yeah, because web services you will use only when you are working on web development sort of things. So if you know data science related cloud services, I think you should be fine. Just last question, what kind of data generation role was that, like for text or vision? It was related to text. How are the salaries for masters in the UK minimum that we can expect? Minimum 22K. Yeah, I think that's something which you can expect, and you will definitely get 22K or maybe more than that. So that's the minimum salary. Exeter's course content seems to be solid in comparison to Bristol. Yes, I agree. That's why I suggested Exeter over Bristol. So it all comes down to the skills you possess at the end of the day instead of university ranking. Yes, that's correct. Because if employers, they just start to look at university name and start interviewing people like that and probably hire people from those universities, they may not always get good candidate, because there will be always those not so serious candidate in all the universities. Doesn't matter whether it's a Russell Group university or not. So there will be always that factor. So they look into the skills, they try to see what kind of projects you have done. If those things suit to the role and they feel like, yes, this is a good candidate for the role, they will hire. It doesn't matter from which university you have done your masters. Any other questions? I will wait for another 1 minute. If you have any other questions, I'll be more than happy to take that. If not, then I will end the stream and I will see you guys next Saturday. Can I look to Greenwich or Manchester Metropolitan University for my masters on computer science as they are in my budget, or will they will the tag of Russell Group really pay off well? It does not. So again, like I said, if you do your masters from these universities, if you like the course, you're all good. At the end of the day, it all comes down to your skills and what kind of portfolio you make. So if you're doing a computer science related course, I would say maybe make a nice web page for your portfolio, maybe have some nice applications built, whichever thing you like, maybe around that theme. Build those things, or if you are doing computer science course, maybe for Android applications, things like that. So whatever you are interested in, work on those kind of application, put those things into your portfolio, and I think that should be good enough. And it does not matter whether you do your masters from Russell Group University or not. What certifications do you suggest for data scientists? Did you have any while you applied after? No, I personally do not believe in certifications, and I don't have a lot of certifications. But if you really want to do some certification, and I think if you do some cloud related certification, that will definitely help your profile, especially as a fresher. So when you do maybe AWS data science certificate, right? Or Azure AI certificate, I think that will definitely help you to show the employer that yes, you have experience working with working on cloud, and especially for data science use cases. So those kind of certificates are definitely going to help you. Is it necessary to learn how to build web application for my data science portfolio? No, you don't. All you need to do is maybe just set up a very simple web page. And web application is a completely different thing when compared to web app, not web app, web page. So web page is just a simple page where you will list down all your projects, your information, your education detail, things like that. Whereas a web application is something which can do create, update, delete, read, these kind of things. So you don't need to build a CRUD application. You just need to build a simple web page and put down all your information and projects there, so that someone can just see in a beautiful format. Because when you submit your CV, it will be that boring one page, and that's how it should be. Because if you try to beautify your CV a lot, it may not be ATS friendly. So it's advised to have a single column simple CV. But then if you want to have some impact, it's always good to have that beautiful web page and all your projects and information there, and just put that link into your CV so that someone can go to that page and read more about you. And that you can do quite simply using Git pages. And if you want some template, you can pick from HTML5 up, I think that's the name of the website. So you can pick simple templates from there, and you can edit your information into that page. So that's just what you need to know. But as a data scientist, I think it's important to know at least Streamlit or some visualization tool where you can show employers that you have worked on some data science project. Because when you do, or when you learn data science, you always do things in your Jupyter notebook, that's all, which is not impactful because it's just up to you. And you're not going to be able to show that to anyone else except for just sharing the Jupyter notebook, which is not very hiring manager friendly, if I want to put it that way. So if you can make a Streamlit app with proper UI, and why I'm saying Streamlit app is because you don't even need to know HTML CSS. But when it comes to a web application, yes, you need to know HTML CSS. But for these Streamlit apps, it runs in browser. It looks like a web application, but it's more like a uh, Python code which has been converted into HTML CSS by Streamlit. So you don't need to know HTML and CSS. So just write simple uh, Python command, and it will give you a nice UI there. Can you bring up a video on masters in computer science? I wasn't able to find any on YouTube that would really help, like interviewing your friends from Newcastle. Yeah, I could do that. Mm, yeah, sure. I'll ask some of my friends if they are willing, because I've talked to quite a lot of people to share their experience uh, while doing their masters in certain universities, but a lot of the time people are just not comfortable coming in front of camera. So it's just that. But yeah, I will ask my friends, and if they are willing to share their experience, I will be more than happy to interview them. If not, I'll just ask them certain questions, and I'll make a video using the response which I will get. Should I learn Tableau or Power BI, which is most preferred by the industry? I think Power BI is the most preferred one, because a lot of companies, they anyways use Microsoft services, so it only makes sense for them to use Power BI. And now with Microsoft Fabric, I think Power BI has become even more powerful. So I would say Power BI will be the preferred option. You're welcome, Alankar. Right, I think I've answered all the questions, and I hope you found this live session to be helpful. I do these live sessions every Saturday 12 p.m. UK time, and I think most of you are aware of it because I've seen you guys multiple times in live Q&A. But it's just I like to reiterate it so that you don't miss a session in case you have any questions. So I'll see you guys next Saturday 12 p.m. UK time. Have a great weekend and happy learning. Bye.